welcome to Cinemondo Girls Edition. Elizabeth,
yeah.
Lara, me.
Hello.
So we love talking about movies and trailers. That's why we were here, and this is how we met. It's all about the movies, people. That's all it is. It's our religion. That's it. So in the meantime, we also got a great suggestion of comparing two movies that are a remake of, and I'm describing this terribly. So Vikram Vedha is a new film coming out starring Hrithik Roshan, and then it is also a remake of a film by the same name from 2017, starring. Let me know, Lara, anytime.
Okay, so this one is starring our Madhavan, and then Vijay Septhipati, Shrinta.
Nice.
Okay.
So that is the 2017 version.
Yes.
It's a classic. People raving about it. It comes in right behind Kati when it comes to this kind of universe. This kind of Tamil language and crime drama stuff. So we're going to take a look at both trailers and then compare. So we're going to look at the 2017 trailer and discuss it briefly. Then we'll look at the new trailer, discuss it briefly, and then we will compare the two trailers. So watch through to the end. Which one will we like better? Which movie looks better? Don't you want to know?
Whichever one is your favorite, viewer.
That's right. Whichever one you want us to like. That's what we'll do.
No, we're here to tell the truth.
No, honest reaction. That's what we're doing here. Honest. Okay. So in the meantime, also be sure and join our private Slack channel that you get by becoming a member. Yay.
Yeah,
there are 2 tiers, both not expensive. And you get lots of other stuff, badges, emojis. You get to request videos like this. You get to request us to do things. You request the girls, you want the boys. What do you want?
You want the girls. What are you saying?
Girls are way better. So we shall start by watching this first trailer. Are we all ready? Vikram Vedha 2017. Okay, here we go.
ஒரு கதை சொல்லிட்டேன் சார்.
உன்ன மாதிரி ஆளுங்களுக்குலாம் ஒரே கதை தானே. நான் கீழே இருந்தேன், தெருநாயா இருந்தேன், இது செஞ்சு அது செஞ்சு பெரிய ஆள் ஆயிட்டேன். அந்த கதை தான். ஓடி ஓடி அலைஞ்சு திரிஞ்சு உடச்சு முடிச்சு ஆரம்பிச்ச இடத்தை தேடி வந்து நிற்குண்டா.
ஐயோ, எப்படி சார்? என் கண்ணில் படம் பார்த்தேன் சார்.
கிரிமினல் போலீஸ். நாம் முடிச்ச பின்ன எரிய போறோம், புதைய போற சொர்க்க நரகம் போனதுக்கு சாட்சி இல்லடா. ஒருத்தரோட கண்ணு பார்த்தே அவன் கிரிமினலா இன்னசென்ட்டா கண்டுபிடிக்க தெரியும். இந்த நொடி இருக்க வாழ்ந்து
face off.
What? There we go.
Go you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is. I feel you.
சரி, என்னோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல எதுவுமே நடந்ததில்லை. There is always a reason to something.
எப்பவுமே பிரச்சனைனா பிரச்சனையை பார்க்காது, இந்த பிரச்சனைக்கான காரணம் என்னன்னு பாரு.
என்ன பிரச்சனை வந்தாலும் பார்த்துக்கலாம். அந்த வேதா. Let's get it.
நம்ம சாவு நம்ம கையில தண்ணி கெத்து தானே சார்.
That's a bad looking knife.
ஆனா எப்படி பார்த்தாலும் நீ நானும் ஒண்ணு தானே சார்.
கோழையும் வீரனும் ஒண்ணே, வீரமான கோழையும் ஒண்ணே, கர்மமும் துரோகமும் ஒண்ணே ஒண்ணே, கர்ம காக்க துரோகம் சென்றே.
Digging the music.
Damn. Whoa.
ஒரு கதையில இவன் நல்லவன் இவன் கெட்டவன் சாய்ஸ் கொடுத்தா சூஸ் பண்றது ஈஸி. இந்த கதையில ரெண்டு பேருமே கெட்டவன். என்ன பண்ண?
I love the little, like, it's fast and the little do 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 at the end.
Might have to check that out.
Everything's great. It's fun.
Oh, did something happen? So that looked very Tamil, I have to say.
I like it.
Yeah, it's that kind of these cool rough and tumble guys, not sex symbols, but totally like, capable and badass, going around carving people up.
Those bad guys, apparently.
Which one's bad?
What you gonna do?
Apparently both of them. So it's fine.
Seriously, that's why that table conversation was very funny, actually.
It was. I was like, oh, okay.
Tell me your story. This is how it is. Da, da, da. Wow, you know me. It's great.
We've seen this before.
It was like, I think they each know each other's story, and that's the good part, right? The acting looks really good. I think it looks really fun. It's apparently kind of a legendary movie. I guess that's why they remade it so quickly.
That is really interesting. There's not much time between the initial film and the remake.
Yeah, it's very strange. It has that these kind of cool rock and roll songs on it, kind of badass.
That was something I was going to ask. So I dig that song that we got on the trailer. We'll be checking that whole soundtrack out.
Yes.
But what genre of music is that?
Yeah,
I wonder.
That's
Like
just
in Indian music, does it follow the same like is there
Kind
Indian
of.
rap? Is
Yeah,
there
I mean, there
R&B
is.
or rock or pop? Is it broken down the same way? Or along the
Kind
same
of,
lines?
sorta. I think so.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's very similar. I mean, they still have pop stars and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. So
So is that kind of rock?
Yeah, like a rock,
Yeah.
like a mainstream kind of a.
That's cool.
rock and roll, Indian rock and roll bands.
Yeah.
They have them there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
That movie has a very like rock and roll feel. That
It
trailer.
does. Kind of gritty. It's that Tamil thing, which I really am liking. It's a
And
little more
see-
grounded.
Since you've drawn my attention to that, I can't unsee like every time I'm noticing this more and more. It's very kind of dark and gritty and not without humor or levity, but like it's in a very different tone than some of the
right?
stuff we've seen.
Yeah, it's very interesting because we've seen a lot. Like when we saw War, it was super glossy.
Yes.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like he's flying through the air. I mean, I guess that's kind of
Pretty.
Bollywood style,
Mhm.
where you just make it slicker. Even though it had its gritty moments, it was still like very big budget. And it's like Tom Cruise versus
Right.
Yeah.
Tarantino or something. I don't
Yeah, I know.
know. All right, so now we will watch the remake with Hrithik Roshan. Okay, so we're gonna watch this one now. All right, Rete.
Cool. This is interesting. Back.
I know it's gonna be kind of fun. Let's see how it works next to the other one. Okay, here we go. Almost exactly the same.
Shot for shot.
सबर और ध्यान दोनों से सुनिएगा
Glossier.
Much prettier.
इस
Yeah.
बार से ऊंचाई नहीं ताज्जुब भी होगा
Rock sound in there.
He's so good.
So good. The sunglasses.
He almost has a. Who does he look like?
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, but like
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
bad.
I
Totally.
can see that. Okay.
Same scene.
अच्छे और बुरे में चुनना तो बड़ा आसान होता है सर लेकिन ई कहानी में तो दोनों बुरे हैं
I like that they're more about good and evil.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Let me get some penetration in this one. Hi.
All right, so right away we saw like the gloss and the bigger budget look and the really like high end super ripped stars
Which I don't
versus-
hate, I gotta say.
Well, not hating either of these. Both of them. They got the dad bod ones and they got the hot dad
Weird.
ones.
They got the dad bod.
I can drive in both lanes. That's cool.
That's right. I think it's really fun to see Hrithik Roshan be really nuts looking. Like, I
Yeah.
love him just like, he looks like an actor doing that looks like they're having a blast.
Totally. It reminds me of the Rolex scene a little bit. Just the like like crazy eyes, like
It's just
what
like,
are you gonna do?
I know, and I loved the little like where he's kind of whipped the blood off that huge
Yeah.
blade, where you hear the little splat, where he's just
That was
kind of
cool.
fling the blood off. That was a really nice touch.
So this, as a horror fan, this feels very much like when you see, which people have lots of, it's very divisive, this move for filmmakers, but like when you see remakes of either international horror films or just a remake of an American horror film where it's like, oh, did you like these XYZ, this stuff about this movie? Because we're just gonna like turn the volume up to 11 and like paint a real pretty gloss on it, and you're gonna recognize people more, and like basically like if you liked that, you'll love this. But sometimes I feel that it loses the charm and some of
It does.
some of what there
I
is to
agree.
love about movies like this once they take it and level up with more gore, more like crunchier sound design, more like big names, like so both probably have pros. I'll watch both.
I'd watch both.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lara?
Yeah, no, it just seems like the newer version is more based on character arcs and kind of where they go versus the original where it's just like, nope, blood and guts. Like we're out to murder each other and like none of us are good. So it's fine.
So we have the Tamil version and the Hindi version, the Bollywood version. So what was interesting about it is seeing just the production value aspect of it. Like, I keep going back to that because the lighting was just gorgeous.
I mean,
And even though they completely recreated the scenes, lighting, tone, everything, like the rain
just
scene,
so different.
really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just a pushover. I just love Hrithik Roshan. So
I mean,
when I see him, he's in those big, his sort of green eyes make him look extra like intense. So when he's doing crazy, it just looks extra like it just looks fun to see that. Whereas I'm not as familiar with the previous actors, so I'm not seeing like, is this really different for them? Is this kind of crazy for them? Like the Surya playing Rolex. The big thing that was great about that casting, everybody's freaking out about, is he's this super famous, like kind of a cool actor, not a scary
it's almost
actor.
like Tom Hanks or like something like one of our golden boy, like just
Keanu Reeves turning into John Wick.
Yeah,
he's just a stupid, and then all of a sudden he's this crazy killer. That's always really entertaining to me for some reason. But I think these look really fun. I mean, when I saw the new trailer first and was like, this looks good, because I of course was with the Roshan. And then now that we're seeing this original one, I'm like, well, this looks really good. Very similar in ways.
Very similar. Like that, I like that experiment, and we should do this with some more films that have been remade. Because to see it, to not be familiar with the property and to see it back to back is like so interesting, because like it's so similar. Like it's very Psycho remake with Vince Vaughn, like where it's like prettier, but it's pretty shot for shot, but it changes the entire tone. Like it really it's very like a Western equivalent of like indie versus Hollywood production.
Exactly. When sometimes, like you were saying, like you have Halloween, super low budget, even though it was made here, but it was low budget indie technically. So then when they remade Halloween, didn't work because you need the low budget. I mean, I think new Halloweens are
But what's
awful.
fascinating and why I love the film community is that brought in its own sector of fans that were unfamiliar with the original property. And none of us are here to gatekeep. You like which Halloween you like.
Exactly.
The correct answer is the original Halloween.
That is the correct answer.
But it is interesting to see sort of the factions in who is aligned with which kind of vision, because they're so different.
Exactly. Yeah, good point. Some people haven't seen the original Halloween, so when they saw the first new Halloween, they thought, "Oh, this is great."
Oh,
And I'm
this
like,
is the new one, right?
Yeah, like this is.
and I don't want to turn around people like the original's the best, and one of those like purists who are like, "Bah." But
sometimes when it's like clearly the obvious answer is the original.
Exactly. Sometimes you can't remake them better, like Jaws. You can't remake that.
Jaws.
It's why I think it's why they haven't tried.
It's
Like,
the perfect movie.
it is the perfect movie. That's my next tattoo. I'm getting a Jaws tattoo.
Oh, it's so good. I own so many Jaw shoes, Jaw shirts. I have so many.
yes, I'm
Anything
all
with a
about
shark on it, I'm like, I have to have it.
I have a client I was doing her hair the other day. She goes to Universal Studios every fall for like the Halloween horror night. I can't remember what it's branded as, but they have yes.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, can I just give you like $100 and can you go by the Jaws store and just get me everything? Because like, I love it all.
And that's my favorite thing was on Universal Lots, just walking over to the
Yep.
Jaws
Oh,
thing,
I
just hanging out, going,
that.
I'm at the Jaws thing.
Is it not is the ride closed? I heard
It's closed.
No,
I think you can still
not.
take a. Is it not?
Nope. They
That
redid
was
it.
my
Universal?
childhood dream. You guys
Oh, it was the best
love it
ride.
when we go off the rails and are talking about something totally different, right? My
I know.
childhood dream. Everybody would be like, going to Disney World, raiding the teacups. I'm like, yeah, get out of here with that.
Mhm.
I need to talk to the folks that went to Universal Studios, and I need every moment of the Jaws ride just described to me.
Oh, well,
because
I
we
can
were
help you
never
out with that because I filmed it
Oh.
from like the street. Like I would just walked over there and filmed the ride
What?
happening. So I can send that to you.
Oh my gosh, childhood dream realized.
I know, it's all right. So they closed it for a while because they were redoing it because it was getting a little rough around the edges.
Okay,
So they redid it and added a whole new, aspect to it. They just upped the budget, made it a little more dramatic than just a shark jumping on you. They have a whole new thing. with
Jaws
it, so-
ride, Tower of Terror. I want the scary one. Like I don't really care about the Iron Man or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's an Iron Man or
Sorry.
not.
I'm like,
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think which studio has that. But in the meantime, we'll put that in an outtake. In the meantime, which movie do you think actually looks better? I think it's really hard to tell, but which one do you think, if we had to pick?
If we had to pick, I'm gonna go rogue a little bit and say the original because I'm a sucker for like indie productions.
Yeah.
All around. It felt there was a little more of an art house feel that it's not as common to find in Indian cinema. So I feel like we've seen a lot of these big glossy Bollywood type productions. So
Yes.
I might start with the original. And I feel it's always nice to start with the original and
I probably would anyway. Like just want to
Yeah.
Right.
see.
to get the
And it'd be interesting too, just to see how do they change it. It's like,
yeah.
and it's interesting too because Gangs of Wasseypur is also a Hindi movie that's super gritty. They kind of reminded me of this. And that's another one we should cover for sure. It's 2 parts. It's a gritty gangster kind of crime drama, but it's not slick like the remake here. What would you pick, Lara? Which one do you think looks better? Uh-oh, we lost her. So I'll pick mine. I love Hrithik Roshan, so I would go with that. But I'm not saying it looks better. I'm just saying it has Hrithik Roshan in it.
That is
So
hard
I'm
to
kind of
argue. It's hard to
predisposed, but I definitely think the original has that grittier, kind of scarier look. Like it just the
Mhm.
violence looks a little more, hard hitting. The new one has that kind of the stunt violence that's great to watch,
Right.
but you're never really feeling
It's
too
just a
disturbed
different
by it.
experience. Yeah.
Because it's like it's just really
Yeah.
slick. Whereas the other one looks like people are actually killing each other almost. So it's like, whoa.
I prefer snuff films. I need the people to look just like they're actually done. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I want
A
actual
normal
dead people in my films.
Just a normal, nice Southern lady. You
Exactly.
guys.
And she's like, out of here. Well, we lost Lara, but
Lara.
she's in a storm. Weather. I'm in a heat wave. She's in a storm. I don't know what's going on where you are, but
I haven't
oh
been
my
outside today, so I don't either. But
God. You don't want to go outside here. It's just bad. I put it out. It's like putting your hand in an oven. I'm like, I'm staying in. So there's our comparison. Let us know what you guys think between the 2 movies. Which one do you think looks better? What differences are you noticing? Because you're going to notice things we didn't know. So this is our first pass at them. We didn't watch them ahead of time. We haven't studied them. It was just an initial honest reaction of right off the presses. Like we don't know anything. I watched the new trailer once. We've covered it, but I didn't study it. So this was just my second time through, and I was looking at it as a comparison kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to watching both of these. They both look fun, so I'm definitely gonna check them out.
putting them on the list.
Putting it on the list.
It's a long
Okay,
list.
you guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.